can't deny the light. Just a believer, a part of the plan, a judger of angels and a broken man. No one on my own.
Let's pray. Dear Lord, I thank you for my brother DJ.
Reading the word, learning to stand up in a fallen world. Now I'm not alone.
Actually, my name is Darrin. I'm from Mountain Village. I came from a family that was, my entire family went to church. My grandparents, my aunts, my uncles, my parents. When I got around my teen years, I was kind of given a choice to go to church or not. And half the time I wanted to, the other half of the time I wanted to stay home and play games. A senior. I was pretty much done. I kind of stopped believing that there was higher power, and I didn't really get why people went to church. I graduated, and I was the only job that I ever had was a dispatcher at the police station. Worked there for the next 6 years. People asked me if I still went to church, and I said no, I had to work on that day. There was a lot of times where I wasn't working, and I said I was. That kind of ashamed to go to church because the entire town knew me. I wasn't exactly the best behaved person. I was pretty curious about what kind of answers the pastor would have if I asked him everything I was curious about that had to do with God. And the questions I was going to ask are, does God save everybody, regardless of what their past is like? And yeah, so I was walking up to church from the police department, which was, I was like 10 minutes late for church because I was still debating if I wanted to go. I walked in, and all the questions that I wanted to ask the pastor were being answered through the sermon. And I was kind of freaked out about that. And he was surprised, and he asked me if I had Christ in my life, and I said no. We said a prayer. I accepted Christ into my life. Years passed. I kind of just stopped caring about everything, and found myself over in Anchorage, and I was drinking all the time. And this was like when I was around 22. I got a call from ACC because I had a couple friends and some family members that were going over there. They were bugging me, and they asked me if I wanted to go, and I said sure, sarcastically. And I got a call from Jimmy Andrew, who was working in admissions over at the time. And I told him I'd give him a call back, but he didn't leave the number because it was unknown. And, well, I didn't have a number. Like maybe a couple weeks later, I woke up and I just got waking up every day, hungover, and then I started reading again. And I was wondering if I'd be able to, I didn't think about looking online. I got a call that day, and I was thinking about that place from Jimmy again, asking me if I wanted to go to ACC. So I said, yeah. I asked him when I can go, and he said the day after, which was on August 25th, 2011. All the classes that they had over there were pretty interesting. I learned a lot of things that I never knew. Basically everything in the Bible. after a while, to get into making it a habit to pray and pray for people, pray with people, worshiping. I had a few songs on my phone after I wasn't in the college, and just kind of sing praise songs by myself. I never used to do that. And the last year that I was at the college, I think it was last year, and the year before that, I lost a couple friends that I grew up with. One of them was pretty close to me, the other one was pretty much like my brother. And last year was the last year that I was at ACC, so I went back home and I was still kind of curious about these things. How does somebody who's so far in their walk with Christ take their life? And I just kind of gave up for a while, and like a couple months ago, maybe a few months ago, I kind of had a recurrence of what happened when I was 19. I forgot all about that. I was going to ask the pastor like a few other questions, the pastor now. And again, all my questions were answered through the sermon. I was wondering if God would forgive me for, just forgetting about him. It turns out God never forgets about us, no matter how much we try to love him. He always loves us. He's always there for us. And it's just a pretty good feeling to know that once you have him in your life, he's always with you. And I had a verse that I was going to recite up here. Be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving. Let your requests be made known to God, and the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. That's Philippians 4. Another one that has been keeping me going, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Philippians 4:13. Is that right? It's been pretty cool. Getting blessed with new days to stay on track with God. And my hope is that I can help people do the same thing. Here, but not this one.
Something's not quite right. I know. There is an emptiness in my soul. I'll never forget that one only night. Now I can't deny the light. Just a believer, a part of the plan, a judger of angels and a broken man. No one on my own. Looking your way, reading the word, learning to stand up in a fallen world. Now I'm not alone. I'm not alone. I was a dreamer. If wisdom was there, I didn't see her. Heading for nowhere with no hope in sight. Knowing that something was not quite right. You know, I know. There was an emptiness in my soul. I'll never forget that one only night. Now I can't deny the light. Let it shine down on you. Let can't deny the light. You know, I know. There was an emptiness in my soul. I'll never forget that one holy night. Now I can't deny the light. You know, I know. There was an emptiness in my soul. I'll never forget that one holy night. Now I can't deny the light. No, I can't deny the light. I just can't deny the light.